Welcome back to the Loyal Sons podcast. I am the Hoff, alongside my compadre, my co-host, Mr. BK, Brett the Hitman Kincaid, who, much like the men's and women's Cyclones basketball teams, is also on dry January.
Yes.
How's the weekend going, Brett? The week?
Good. Yeah. Good for not drinking.
Yeah. So for those of you that aren't aware, obviously I already started off with saying Brett is participating in dry January, which we very much, however, the men's and women's basketball teams need to very much jump off the wagon.
Yes.
But with that being said, we do have 2 Busch Lights here. I will be consuming both of them to make up for it.
Yes, that's what's great about having a friend like you. You step up when I cannot.
I'm always here to support.
Yes.
All right. Well, before we kick it off, make sure you follow us on our socials. TikTok has had a hell of a trend recently.
Where are we at now?
I mean, as far as we've had a hell of a lot of views. A lot of people seem to really be liking us talking about Council Kentucky, and then just I don't know, just normal idiocracy that we talk about. I don't know.
Yeah.
We enjoy it. I love having people that a lot of it's the great thing is a lot of people from smaller town Iowa and Nebraska.
Yeah, I got some texts the other night from family members, and they're like, the whole takedowns for $1. I can see you just getting beat up in the bar.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you that do want to follow us and been listening to us on Spotify or YouTube, our TikTok is at The Loyal Sons Podcast. X account is at The Loyal Sons Forever. YouTube is also at The Loyal Sons Forever. Spotify and Apple Podcasts, all you got to do is search all 4 words, The Loyal Sons Podcast. And if you search Loyal Sons or The Loyal Sons, you're going to find probably a few different podcasts out there. If you search all 4 words, you'll find ours. Again, I'll put the reminder out there. It's a lovely state outline of Iowa with a nice cyclone right down the middle of it and a beautiful little barn off to the side of it. Absolutely glorious.
Well done on that, by the way.
You know, AI is a wonderful thing.
It is. You
know, it makes people that are not talented like myself look somewhat artistic.
Did I ever tell you about how I tried to get Danny to build a Terminator robot in his robotics class?
So you're literally trying to create Skynet?
Yeah. It's not going to kill the dad or the dad's dad.
That's true. It's true. I was just talking to you about that this week. One of our coworkers was telling me about some poor person named Sarah Connor, apparently on X, posted something about over in Germany that I don't know if this person is just so young they've never seen the movie or what, but literally posted on X something about this robot in a VW factory or something like that, killed an employee, and I guess the entire world just went off on her. In a fun way. They're just responding, of course Sarah Connor would be posting something like that. And this poor girl finally came back and she's like, okay, I figured it out. I get it. And I'm like, oh God, just your entire life. You can never say anything about AI technology, anything.
No, or kind of go off the rails and be in a militia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you got to be straight and narrow if you're...
Pretty much picture that person wearing a foil hat at all times.
Yeah.
Well, NFL playoffs are going. We have the Houston Tex clones on in the background right now. I'm not looking so hot for them. And then also, for our boy, big, Brock Purdy, I got his also knocked to the dirt last night.
That was kind of my fault.
And all sorts of names though.
Yeah. And I just put it out there. The Loyal Sons checked in there, let's go Brock. And he did not go.
No.
At all.
What really his fault? I mean, Brock had some plays that didn't really necessarily work into his favor, but at the same time, yeah, it was just an all around tough game for them. But it is what it is. They got the Bears coming on later tonight. Texans are fighting for their life right now against tough Patriots team, but we got the Natty tomorrow.
I know, right?
Yeah, number 1 versus number 10. How do you think that's gonna go?
I really hope Miami piss pounds them. I'm just a U fan. Ed Reed, Warren Sapp, just the swagger. I love it.
Oh, gosh. And I don't mean anybody who grew up in our age, in our generation, I should say, you can't help but not, from almost a euphoric standpoint, you're the U is back.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's when football is good.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not going to be the same as the U of the old days. But actually, a lot of the stuff that they got away with back then is legalized now.
I know that. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I'm on the opposite side. I'm pulling for the Hoosiers. I want the great story to have a happy ending. And I truly, with me having friend slash coworker that is a Indiana diehard and is just like loyal Cyclones fans, has been there all this time.
I'd say probably worse off.
They are considered like the losingest college football team, which I don't know
Yeah.
how that's possible when you have schools out there like UTEP. But
They've been playing a lot longer.
they also play in a tougher conference, I guess.
Oh, whoa. UTEP's in a tough conference.
Is it what, Sunbelt?
I think so.
I don't know.
Like, Incarnate Word.
I mean,
That's a powerhouse.
I mean, remember what UTEP was actually Texas Wesleyan at one point.
Yeah, yeah.
They won a natty in basketball. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. I think for Fernando Mendoza, I think he's gonna come out on top. But Brett, should we well, let's get the start stuff. Before we get going, we're gonna title this episode "Let's Not Talk About Last Week."
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Because irony. That's why. All right. So the reason, and you'll obviously catch on to the theme. All right. So hopping into basketball. Before I say anything, what are your thoughts on last week?
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and now here's the thing. Let's not start off with Iowa State. Let's start off with, who would like us to talk about it? Out of our big three, what team would want us to talk about basketball the most?
Well, I'm thinking through like friends and family. I'm sure my brother-in-law would love us to talk about Nebraska basketball.
100%. And Nebraska is, and I wrote this agenda up yesterday, so I apologize if we're one number off on some of these records here. But Nebraska did play Northwestern yesterday. They did win at Northwestern. It's a Big Ten win regardless. I don't know how good Northwestern is, but that puts Nebraska at 18-0.
Streak is still alive.
At 22. 22 games. Brett already voiced his thoughts on that last week. But Nebraska had 2 wins this week. One was against Oregon, which they just piss-pounded them. And they do have a couple games coming up against Washington on Wednesday, and then Minnesota coming up on Saturday. Their women's team, however, number 24. And, oh, by the way, Nebraska is number 8 in the nation.
Wow.
They will be ranked above Iowa State.
When was the last time Nebraska football was that high?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. I don't know.
2000s?
Maybe. It would have had to have been when Crouch was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Crouch played Kansas State. They're 1-2 at Kansas State.
When they played Oklahoma and they had the catch where he threw it to, God, what was his name? Mike Stunts. He and I were on the All-Western Iowa team together. Well, we were named to it. But I think they were number 1 and number 2 when they played Oklahoma. And that.
Okay.
But random trivia, if we're talking about that, before we move on from the Indiana stuff. If Indiana wins tomorrow night, they will be the most recent undefeated college football team in history and the most recent undefeated men's basketball team in college history.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Little side note for you. But the women for Nebraska, also sitting at number 24. Now, they had a rough week. They are a team that would like us to probably forget last week. They lost to number 15 Michigan State and also number 4 UCLA. So 2 ranked teams.
Yeah, they got beat by ranked teams at least.
We got ranked. A lot more we can say for ourselves. Our team. We're not basketball players, and
never will be.
No, but they've got a couple of tough games coming up Wednesday, Wisconsin, next Saturday. Number 25 Illinois. Now let's talk about the Hawks. Now the men are not rated right now, which they had a tough go over the last week. They went to West Lafayette and lost to a tough number 5 Purdue team. Not by much, though. They played their hearts out. Again, Ben McCollum has these boys playing hard. And then they lost to number 16 Illinois. Also, wasn't a blowout. But their depth is showing. It's the fact that I've heard a few other shows, the Two Guys podcast brings us up. Chris Hassel does a fantastic job covering the Hawkeyes basketball. But also he said, this looks like a mid-major, like these guys have mid-major builds. They have like a Missouri Valley Conference.
Didn't their coach come from Drake?
He did.
Okay.
And the entire team came from Drake. Now, coming up this week, they did actually win yesterday. So they broke their little losing skid. That puts them 13-5, 3-4 in conference. They got a game coming up against Rutgers on Tuesday. The women, however, are sitting at number 11. They have a tough game tonight versus Michigan State, number 15. But they beat up on Oregon and also won at Indiana this week. Close game, but kept themselves 15-2, 6-0 in conference. So this upcoming week, they got a tough week. They play Michigan State, again, number 15, and then number 12, Maryland coming up. So it's one of those where it's early enough in the season. We're not going to really hop far into this. We're not going to sit here and look at, bracketology. We're not going to sit here and talk about where do we predict these teams going.
And by the way, if I pick anything in a bracket, go opposite, I'm horrible at it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want me to talk about bracketology.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It kind of depends on the day. If you'd talked to me at halftime of yesterday's game, actually, if you'd talked to me before the game yesterday, I would have said Iowa State's got a good shot at being between a 2 and a 4 seed. If you'd talked to me after halftime, I would have said probably a 10 seed.
Hopefully.
Based off emotions. But let's hop into that. So once the rankings come out, what was the number 2 Iowa State Cyclones will maybe be in the top. I don't know if they'll be in the top 10.
How could they?
Man, just an ass whooping by Kansas.
Cincinnati.
And then, to Cincinnati.
Damn fucking chilly.
A 9-8 Cincinnati Bearcat team, who this team was reeling. Their fans literally last week had a petition going around, or they were trying to, or an organization, whatever you want to call it. Their fans for the Colorado game Wednesday at Cincinnati were trying to organize a brown bag movement. That's how bad this team is. And
if they win all next week, can we do the show in a brown bag?
We might have to.
One, people will like it because they don't see my face.
Sure, and mine.
Yeah, so.
But they were organizing a brown bag movement. And Iowa State went in there, and God, that team they couldn't dribble. They couldn't rebound. The one thing that actually did perform or did work out for them was Milan Momcilovic in the second half. I guess he had a career high in points, but when you have 20 points given up off turnovers, it was just the other thing that blows me away. And I texted somebody this during the game. The math doesn't add up. When we've got 4 guys under the hoop and a ball hits the rim or the backboard and is bouncing down, how does one guy so frequently come in and get there and get the ball over our 3 or 4 that are under the hoop?
I think that's called not boxing out.
Is that what that is?
I don't know. I never played basketball.
I think it's just, I've got my own thoughts. Again, for somebody who didn't actually play basketball, there's people out there that will sit there and talk about it like they're experts and never played the goddamn game. It's like, no, I'm not going to pretend that. These guys are out there 6'6", 6'5". They're getting pushed around on the court. They know a hell of a lot more than any of us do. Mm-hmm. But it just seems to, you're just kind of adding it up. Like, how does this happen? But that seemed to be happening frequently. Now, we've got Tuesday. I got UCF coming to town. UCF was recently ranked. UCF gave Arizona a run yesterday. This is a team that, I hate to say it, it's Hilton, which helps, but they don't get their shit together.
We're wearing brown bags in the next episode, aren't we?
Well, and then they go to Stillwater after that.
Oh yeah, we're wearing brown bags next week.
And like Oklahoma State. Dang it, I got to stop saying that. Oklahoma State came to Ames and gave them a run there a little bit. So it's like they got to figure it out, and they got to figure it out quick.
Please.
Now let's keep the trend going, and then we got to figure out something.
Can we just jump to wrestling?
Well, we got to talk about the women, which the women 14-5, 2-5. It's just mind-boggling. They were 19, probably going to be unranked.
I was excited, turned on the game this morning.
Me as well.
And then I just turned it off. I'm like,
down by 20 like that. Lost to Colorado, which Colorado's not a good team. They lost versus West Virginia. This is all following a loss to Cincy. And then today, Oklahoma State just takes them to the woodshed. Wednesday, they got a rematch versus Cincy, and then Saturday versus Arizona. I don't know. Addie Brown is out, which is, we talk about Audie Crooks a lot. I think without Addie Brown in the lineup, it's like taking the right hand away from, left hand. I don't know what analogy to use. It's like taking Julian Edelman away from Tom Brady.
Yeah. They just work well together.
Yeah, right. And you take Addie Brown out of there, and that's a huge, until she comes back. It's gonna be a bumpy road for us Cyclones fans.
All right, I'm getting us out of this downward spiral.
No, I was actually gonna.
We don't win championships in January.
That is true, but I did have a question for you.
Oh, great!
What are your thoughts on hockey?
I love watching it.
Yeah,
I don't want to fight a hockey player.
I was just thinking, like football season screwed us as Cyclones fans. Basketball season's not treating us well. Maybe we should just switch to hockey.
So I was thinking we switched to baseball. We cannot lose on baseball.
But baseball doesn't start. That's another thing I was thinking about as well. It's a random thought segment, I guess. But in the Midwest, like once basketball season trickles out, there's 3 major sports for Midwestern folk. They're either watching baseball, softball, or NASCAR.
Yeah.
So it's NAFS ball season.
It's what?
NAFS ball season.
NAFS ball?
NAFS ball season is what we'll call it.
Okay.
It's like a combination of all.
Okay.
And yeah, might be an early start to Nats ball season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, with hockey, though, so if you think about it, I'm jealous of Oklahoma State fans when I talk about hockey.
Okay. Tell me more.
Oklahoma State has a club hockey team that, for example, January 16th, I hope some Oklahoma State fans are listening to this. January 16th, they beat North Texas 18-1.
Wow.
Yep. On January 17th, they beat North Texas 9-1. Yeah.
How amazing would club hockey, is it a match game?
A hockey game? No, soccer is a match.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a hockey
game.
A hockey game?
Yeah.
Okay. How great would be club level college hockey game? I've been to the UNO hockey games, and those are a blast.
Iowa State,
but that's legit.
Iowa State has a club team. Okay. I used to have an Iowa State hockey jersey way back in the day, but I just thought I was in college when I got it. Somehow I didn't know that our school had a hockey team. I just thought it was something that was made for fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this hockey team also played Creighton back in November. Beat them 25-0 and 20-7.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, they don't shy away from scoring points. I almost picture it being like Shoresy.
I know, wouldn't that be great?
All right, Brett. Well, per your request, let's move on from basketball and hop into wrestling.
Finally, something good. I jinxed them. Damn
Not
it!
For Iowa. No.
Oh no, but that was Penn State, man.
It was Penn State. There's only it's great to see Iowa State's number 3 in the nation. Iowa's number 4 in the nation. Nebraska's number 6 in the nation. And Iowa State beat the ever-living piss out of North Dakota State this week. 36-3. Nebraska beat number 9 Minnesota. Nice. 20-12. Iowa unfortunately ran into Cale Sanderson and Penn State, and they were only able to win one match out of the 10. Lost 32-3.
So we set my knowledge of wrestling last week. Do you think that was a big win for them that they actually got points against Penn State?
No, I think Iowa was expecting more.
Oh, okay.
And in looking at the individual rankings, Iowa has quite a few guys that are up there in the top 5, top 10. I think they were looking for more out of them. But let's face it, it's these are all, the rankings are cute in wrestling. And when I say cute, I mean that you look at Penn State this year, and just like they are every year, everybody's wrestling for second place. The best you can hope for is beating Ohio State, maybe, which neither, and not one of our big three that we're covering have been able to do that. So everybody's kind of going for third, essentially. But, Iowa State had the Harold Nichols Open this weekend, which is a big tournament. I actually, when my brother was wrestling in college, went to that. If I remember right, I think that's when, I watched Cale Sanderson wrestle for Iowa State at that tournament.
Nice.
But, yeah, the Huskers and the Hawkeyes, and we can talk about their common opponent that they both have this week because it's each other. So a huge duel coming up on Friday. The Huskers got number 4 Iowa, and number 4 Iowa is the number 6 Huskers. So it's going to be a big week for wrestling in the Midwest at the collegiate level.
Yeah.
Before we move on from wrestling, my brother got selected to officiate the women's state wrestling tournament, the state duels, and the men's high school state tournament out in Des Moines. So,
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. Hell of a accolades.
Yeah.
I'm sure when he listens, congratulations, brother.
Yes, congratulations.
All right, man. Well, should we hop into a little bit more transfer portal?
Yes.
All right. Before we say anything, what are your thoughts on this transfer portal rubbish?
I am just waiting to see what happens.
Good news is it's closed.
Yeah, but you still don't I'm just waiting for the season. I'm going to be hopeful, but you just see what happens and roll with the punches.
Well, Iowa State closes it out with 40 of the portal season. So you can actually call it a season now.
Yeah, because it's got an opening date and a closing date.
Yeah, 43 incoming guys, all of them 3 stars, I think, with the exception of one. On average, and they were ranked very low as far as, the thing is when they do these ratings, they're all this shit is subjective. It's based off of how many guys left the program versus how many coming in. And immediately when your entire team leaves versus doesn't matter how many you bring in, you're not going to be looking.
Yeah.
But 18 guys, 18 returning, they're not starters, but 18 guys returning with experience. Overall, I don't think it was a bad turnout. Again, from a positivity standpoint, I'm excited to see what comes out of this.
Sometimes it's good to be the 7th man on the bench. And then when the other 5 leave, guess what? You're a starter.
You just stole that from what movie?
Vince Vaughn one.
Yeah.
The internships.
You know, rooting guys on, slapping them with the towel. But you know what? He gets a ring.
But and in this case, if the starters leave and there's no one else, like attrition worked in your favor.
It is true. I will say one of the rare situations for Iowa State in football coming up is based off of Jimmy Rogers signees. We're going to be heavy on linemen.
Okay.
Which has not been the case for Iowa State. It's usually been like, we might have some hella athletes at skill positions, but our quarterback has to be able to move because you don't know how long he's going to have.
Are we going to turn into Iowa and just run and punt?
We're going to try and run a Big 10 offense in the Big 12. Speaking of Iowa, so they had 12 incoming guys. The Huskers have 16 incoming. Dylan Raiola did end up signing with the team.
Good.
To be a backup.
Do you think that's because of his injury?
I don't know. I know the conversation was taking place already prior to, is it DJ Moore? Is it DJ? Or what the hell was his name?
I can't think of his first name.
What Moore's first name
is.
I want to say DJ Moore, but
the starting quarterback for Oregon.
I'm thinking that's a receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
But anyways, Moore decided he's going to stick around at Oregon, and I think that maybe Oregon and Coach Lanning were just one of those. It's one of those where they just wanted to say, like, you know, we had already kind of talked to you about coming here. We're going to stay true to our word. He's not a bad backup to have. I mean, shit, that's a hell of a quarterback room.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious to see if he gives up the Patrick Mahomes stuff when he gets there.
Oh, no, he'll lean all into it.
I can see Coach Lanning being like, knock this shit off. I mean,
the same guy that jumped in a pool with the recruit and then the recruit flipped the next day.
Yeah, but I mean, the previous coach was all over TikTok like it was his job.
Yeah.
It's weird to see. Just very weird. Anywho, well, yeah, that's a run through in the portal. But yeah, overall from the week, Brett, what are your thoughts on everything? I think it's kind of one of those where thank God we don't let our week, like our emotions or mood for the week, get determined by outcomes of our teams.
Yeah, like I'm glad I'm old enough where I realize, like, no matter what happens, I still got to get up Monday morning, go to work, feed my kids.
It is true. Yeah, as an Iowa State fan, I'm hopeful to see what actually, for all 3 of our teams, I'm really hopeful to see what they're looking forward to seeing what comes out of the rest of basketball season. But again, it's so early that there's really no reason for us to sit out here for an hour and talk about a bunch of shit that's going to completely change between now and the end of March.
I'm still all in on the men's basketball team. They're going to win the national championship. I'm calling it.
Well, that makes one of us.
Okay.
All right. I think I'm all in on our basketball team, and I think there's a number of teams that will win it before they will. We have to freaking figure out how to dribble the damn ball first.
Sometimes you got to hit your low before you hit your high.
The one thing I will say, and I know that I scalded Iowa State fans last time, but any of you that are out there going after JJ's mom on Twitter, knock it off, all right? Josh Jefferson's mother is a freaking saint, and she's on Twitter, she's on X, whatever the hell it's called. And that woman is out there just getting, going into it with the fans and everything like that. And every once in a while, you got that dumbass fan that comes out like, well, I wish your son would do this better, do that better. You know what? Shove it up your ass. There's no other way to put it.
And we are tagging her.
Oh, God. Yeah.
In this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was amazing. It was awesome. Like when Iowa State played Oklahoma State and the game was on Peacock for the first time, and she came in, she posted something on X saying something about like, even though I didn't have to pay for an actual subscription, I'm still asking y'all for my money back after this game. So big fan of this lady. All right, Brett. So for those of you listening, we've been doing CB Scanner as a segment at the end of each episode. We're going to change it up a bit. Brett just recently got a product here.
I've heard these things are absolutely amazing.
So there's these Albanese sugar-free gummy bears. There's also the Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. And, Brett was all in on them. You going to try a few?
Yeah, I've heard great things about them.
So what
are the reviews like?
I went and looked up some reviews, and I'm flipping the script this week. I'm going to do a little bit of true or false with Brett and read some of these. There's a few that I've written up myself and a few that I did not write up. So, Brett, you ready for this?
Should I keep eating the gummy bears as we're doing this?
Sometimes we're all responsible for our own choices.
I never make good choices. You know that.
Well, then you're a victim of your own circumstances.
Okay.
All right. So, flavorful, plentiful. Love the variety. Love how juicy they are. Could have health hazards.
Okay. Does it say what health hazards? Because I got 2 in my hand.
Is that a review or not a review?
I'm going to say not a review.
Okay, you actually got that right.
All right.
I've been sitting on my toilet for 5 hours in excruciating pain. 10 out of 10 would purchase again.
Please tell me that's false.
No, that's true.
Oh, shit.
Yep. Keep eating. All right. All right. Let's see here. A mouthful. Yeah, a mouthful and a bowlful. Toilet bowlful.
Please tell me that's false, because I've already eaten them.
That is false.
Oh, thank God.
All right. We'll do 2 more. Sweet, soft, fruity, delicious.
True.
And my gastrointestinal tract has never been so sparkling clean.
True.
That is an actual review. Actually, we'll do 2 more. Help me.
True.
That is also true. All right. Now.
So I know what I'm going to be doing tonight.
Well, keep on eating. Let me know.
Oh, no.
So here's one. I'm just going to tell you that this one is true. A delicious treat that should be enjoyed only after the following preparations have been made. 1. Make sure it's Friday and cancel all weekend plans for good measure. Go ahead and call in for Monday as well. Call the city. Make sure your water bill is paid in full. Number 3. Visit your local hardware store and purchase a sink attachment for your garden hose, as toilet paper will quickly become too painful to bear. Number 4. Give advance notice to family members, roommates, and neighbors unless you're keen on trying to give birth to a crushed watermelon while convincing the local SWAT team that both the screaming and demonic noises are from you and a dynamic entry would only bring about more needless suffering. And number 5, redo your restroom in motivational pictures, ones with slogans like "Courage is fear hanging 1 minute longer," "The only easy day was yesterday," etc. I also advise posting up the suicide prevention hotline number or having a dedicated friend or other support group to walk you through the low times. Lastly, I must strongly urge you to consider why you are thinking of buying this product. Is it a sense of deep loathing? A reckless sense of adventure? Are you researching dysentery? Perhaps you are the drill sergeant of some extreme commando unit seeking to break down the enemy's will to fight by airdropping these into their midst. If you're just curious, then let me say, fellow human, beware, for this life is a dangerous enough one. Next time I want a thrill, I'll skydive without a parachute. That way I'll at least have a chance.
So you could have told me that before I opened them and started eating them.
You got 2 more there.
I ain't eating those.
Yeah, your bathroom is a ways away.
Yeah.
Well, so, well, we're going to continue looking these up, I think, as we go on.
I'm going to let him eat them, though.
But anyways, any final thoughts before you have to make a emergency run to the restroom?
I'm just distracted by what's about to come.
There will be more CB scanner coming up. Brett, you want to actually, and you know what? I'm just going to tease something out there. We might have a band from down south joining an episode moving forward as well. Up and coming artists, older band, country artists that we're excited to have on the show. Any other final thoughts, Brett, before we get going?
And if you like what you're hearing, smash that like button, share with someone random, throw it a celebrity. Who cares? See what happens.
Maybe throw them Brett's phone number.
No.
All right. No, we don't do that. All right. Well, as we always say, I dropped the ball last time. Actually, Brett, you got to get your one-liner out there.
I already said smash the like button.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I should freaking listen for one time, huh?
Yeah, I'm used to people not listening.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, as we always say, have a cold bush light or 2 on us, and all of y'all back in the Midwest, stay warm. I hear it's colder than a witch's titty up there. Stay indoors, keep all your extremities covered, and make sure you cover the tomato plants. We don't want them getting frostbitten as well, right?
By the way, do you want me to get you a nipple for that beer?
Oh, shit.
You got to drink twice as much.
All right, well,
take one for the team.
Thank y'all for joining the episode. We'll catch y'all next time.
All right, see ya.